Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Home Base. It's been a minute, but we're back to do the NXT review, and we're going to keep this brief and short and quick because I love the sense of urgency from tonight's show. Uh, Went up against tough competition, World Series, NBA, uh, other programming, and I thought today uh, it flew by. I really did. Let's talk about some things I like, a couple things I perhaps didn't like. But overall, loved the show. I looked, and there was a point I'm like, oh my God, we're only 30 minutes in, but it felt good because we had Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. You had you had all the other stuff going on, and then Jasper Troy in his speed match, all that within 30 minutes. Uh, I do want to briefly talk about, where I'm at personally with the NXT product, and not just NXT, but just in general, right? Um, well, around this time, you got to start thinking about finance. You got to start thinking about, all right, what can you get? What is not available? And, you know, now over the last couple of months, we take it on a new endeavor, the Inside Edge Network. So there's a lot of things that you kind of need, and financially, you can't get all of it, right? So I have YouTube TV, I have Netflix. So Smackdown, once football season's done, I can give you a timely review on Smackdown. Same with, you know, Kyle's handling the Raw reviews for Netflix, but we both have Netflix. And I get the CW through an antenna, but CW is also available on YouTube TV. Well, certain things got to get kind of had to be cut off. One of them was Peacock. Once WWE pulled the major PLEs from Peacock, uh, had to pull Peacock. Although I'm almost back in on Peacock due to the wrestling and also some of the sports stuff that they have, some of the entertainment shows. Like, well, maybe Peacock, maybe I'm back in. We'll see. But then there's also the ESPN fiasco, and we'll see how YouTube TV handles things with ESPN. YouTube TV wants what Spectrum cable subscribers have, which is uh, rights to the ESPN Unlimited tier plan, which would provide, the WWE PLEs plus other programming free of charge if you're a cable subscriber, which is what Spectrum has. We don't have that as YouTube TV subscribers. So as of this moment, no WrestlePalooza, no Crown Jewel, and then the next pay-per-view Survivor Series, none of that, without paying an additional $30. YouTube TV is fighting to get that $30 restriction removed. So, hope for the best. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Onto the show itself. Again, love the pacing, love the sense of urgency um, with Trick Williams. Love how it starts in the back with the production, stops the show mid track. And you know what? I say everything that I said too because I like how WWE look. They want you to watch all the shows. Yes, definitely. You should be watching all the shows. I should be watching all the shows. But the people who run WWE understand people got lives too. So if you do miss a show, like I had a commitment last Tuesday, and then I didn't get a chance to watch Halloween Havoc. Kudos to WWE. A quick video package recapping what happened. Um, I think WWE does that really well. So, because what that does, that appeals to, yes, your hardcore fans are rewarded for watching the entirety of the shows. But maybe the casuals, maybe if you are missing something, like if you are busy and you just didn't have time to catch up on something, WWE is not penalizing you for missing programming. They want you to stay up to date. They want you to stay up to speed on the product. And that's been my issue with AEW for a long time. They don't do video packages. If you don't watch Dynamite or you miss a random episode of Collision, you're completely out of the loop. But it feels good within the first 2 minutes of watching NXT. All right, I'm right back on track. And what that does, it builds excitement, but it makes you say, you know what? Hey, Anthony, get that Peacock again and go back to Halloween Havoc and watch some of the watch the show, watch some of the highlights. Like, this is exciting. We got a new women's champion. We got this going on. We got that going on. So it's pretty cool. And we got more stuff coming up. So, sense of urgency, Trick Williams, Ricky Saints. I like that the heel, Trick Williams, ran out his resume at the very beginning. It's like 99 out of 100 times I beat his ass. And he's, that one time that, and Trick Williams recapped this whole thing. I would imagine we heard at the end of NXT that in 2 weeks, last man standing, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams. I have got to imagine this is the end of the road for Trick Williams at NXT. You kind of even caught it with him running down his accomplishments, everything that he did in NXT. So I got to imagine Ricky Saints. I like how you give this 2 weeks, let it build, because you got some matches next week. But Ricky Saints, give it, get your signature W, another signature win. And, keep Trick Williams down for 10. And that should be the end of Trick Williams at NXT. I would expect, maybe give it a little bit of time, but I would expect Trick Williams, his final match in 2 weeks at NXT. And then maybe come January, even sooner than that, video packages, right? Trick Williams debuts. You can put him on SmackDown. Maybe SmackDown needs a little bit more firepower. But it seems like right now SmackDown has stuff happening in the mid-card where Trick Williams may not shine as much. Plus, Mello is on SmackDown. So I would imagine you want to keep Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on different shows because of their history. So I can see top of 2026, Trick Williams' main roster debut would be on Raw come January. And looking across Raw, I think they need more mid-card heels. And I think Trick Williams would be that guy. Let's also not write off. Trick Williams could move up the card, can move to the main roster as a babyface too. He could. You have options. But I think the way I see things mapping out, you want to keep Carmelo Hayes. All right, we're back. You want to keep Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. You want to keep them on different shows. I think Trick Williams on Raw would be the way to go about it. A couple other things. On a normal circumstance, I'm going to say this. We got 2 championship matches tonight. We had 2 non-finishes with championship matches. Under normal circumstances, I would actually be upset. Actually, I was not a fan of how Jordan Grace lost her match with Kalani Jordan. I was not a fan because the ref. I know we see things so many times. It's like, how many different ways can you create something, right? The ref idiotically is looking at outside the ring, Trick Williams and Ricky Saints. You got a championship match in the ring. Jordan Grace looks at the ref before looking back at Jordan. Before Jordan Grace looked at the ref, Jordan Grace looked at Jordan, Kalani Jordan, and then looked at the ref. Then looked back at Kalani Jordan. Jordan Grace, too many Jordans here. Jordan Grace saw Kalani Jordan pick up the championship belt. You would think championship experience, gonna pick up the belt, interference. No, Jordan Grace just walks right into it. So I did not like that finish. Jordan Grace is falling into the same trap as CM Punk is on Monday nights. And that is, you could only do so much without the championship before people stop believing that you will ever win a championship. And we're at that case here. Now, will they make a bigger story about out of Jordan Grace not winning a title? They're trying to. But after a while, if you can't win the big one, you really can't win the big one. But the match itself was fine. I mean, the commercial, I know side by side you can still watch it, but whatever. I'm not the biggest side by side commercial fan because you could barely see the fight, and then you got the big advertisement you got to sell. So that gets a little tricky. So I never really got into the groove of the match, but for what we saw, it was a good contest, but all set up with the final angle at the end. Again, we did get a new NXT Women's Champion. I like the surprise there. We're going to get more of that spotlight next week. But the NXT flu, and that's how I'll close out this video. NXT flu, after, again, for me personally, after a couple of weeks, or 2 shows. I missed last week's show, and I missed the pay-per-view. So being out of it, and then now coming back into it, feels pretty good. I'm looking forward to next week. Good to see Dark State. Javon Evans, anytime they're on television, I'm happy. So that's good to see. And we're going to continue to find out. You know, NXT, they got, that big championship match we talked about in 2 weeks. One other thing, too. This involves JCJ and obviously Trick Williams. I like that people are not satisfied with losing. You lose a match. Come on now. And one other angle, I would kick myself if I didn't hit this angle. Zarya, Soroka, good stuff. Good. So, drilling in the fact she never lost a title. And is Zarya angry. Just, man. Great storytelling. The turn is going to happen at some point. Once Soul is clear from injury. You do wonder who would be the babyface, who would be the heel. I find myself rooting for Zarya. I do. Zarya is trying to be a great friend. So, how much is she all in on herself, not thinking about partnership, not thinking about the team? That's just me, though. All right, that's it. Podcast Friday morning. I'll catch up on. We got some good topics coming up on the show. Uh, we think Chris Jericho. I'm just throwing this out there. Let's say Chris Jericho comes back to the WWE. Let's say, oh, I have my rubber band. Oh, yes, rubber band's back. Yes, this is my stress ball. It's not a stress ball, but this is how I got through the reacts over the summer. So here's the assignment. Chris Jericho, you have him under your roster in WWE. 2026, you got him for a year. And hypothetically speaking, let's say within that year, he's inducted into the Hall of Fame, all that stuff. I'm not asking you to plan out the every feud, but give me some names of people who you want to see Chris Jericho feud with. Give me some names. Give me some programs that you're thinking you want to see Chris Jericho. First off, do you want to see Chris Jericho in WWE? One more run, 2026, 1 year. Give me some names. Do you want Chris Jericho as a babyface or a heel? That's something we got to talk about as well. Kyle and I got to address. Kyle, by the way, has a War Games idea. I don't know if he warmed up to my idea, but you should see it on the podcast. Remember the stipulation: War Games. There are 2 War Games matches. There's usually one at the beginning that opens the show, and then the main event of the show. Speaking of main event, on the podcast this week, we'll preview Saturday night's main event. Main event, Jey Uso, CM Punk. The match is set. They had a opening show promo. We'll talk about that. Kind of see where things are going. A pretty eventful Monday Night Raw that we will discuss on the pod. And we'll go from there as the stage starts to set into Halloween in November, getting all that going. All right. That's going to do it for me. See you guys on the pod. I promise we'll do these reactions. I will say this, once football will be over soon, I'm probably going to transition to the Smackdown beat. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But, all right, I'm stalling. We're done. Good night.